It has been 10 years since the mysterious disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. Today, family members protested in front of the Malaysian embassy in Beijing.
我相信我们的孩子还活着。
There were 239 passengers and crew on board. Malaysia's Prime Minister said on Monday that the search will go on. Some families continue to call for accountability with the tragedy. My next guest has been seeking answers about what happened to her partner since MH370 disappeared. Sarah Bajc's partner, Phillip Wood, was on MH370 when it went missing. She got married since and now runs a small resort with her husband in Panama, which she is, that's where she is today. She joins us now. Sarah, thank you for joining us. You know, what is today like for you?
Well, today is a day of sadness, just because of all the terrible memories involved around March 7th and March 8th. Really, the crisis started on March 7th. And I still miss Phillip. I don't usually do too much to recognize this day because I prefer to celebrate his birthday. As a positive memory, as opposed to rehashing all the old wounds. But I'm very thankful for the media to reopen this story. Now we are 10 years later and still no answers.
I mean, when this all happened, did you, obviously there are, you know, I can't imagine what the emotions are, but did you think early on you would have answers? And when, I guess, did that hope vanish, or is it still there?
Well, for the first 6 months or so, it was a constant roller coaster because there were sightings and theories and 20 different competing ideas about what happened to the plane. And there was a lot of kind of false evidence being surfaced. And then there was also a lot of what should have been available evidence missing. So it was really easy to feel the need to chase all of the ideas. But by the end of the first year, I think most of the family members, including me, and including Phillip's family, had to acknowledge he wasn't going to come back, at least not alive, and that we needed to start to go through the structured grieving process to be able to say goodbye. So we had a memorial and everything for him. But you know, I spent another year together with some of the other family members working behind the scenes, working very hard to try to find answers, to put pressure on different governments, different groups of people. A lot of media were still keeping the story alive. But you know, by the end of 2 years, I was pretty sure we weren't going to find any answers, at least not until the then in charge government of Malaysia was no longer in charge. Because, you know, there was clearly a cover-up of data happening. And until there was some ability to get access to a whistleblower or some other way to find out information that was being withheld, it would be very difficult to find what really happened.
You think there was a cover-up. You know, there have been so many theories, documentaries made about this, and different experts weighing in. Do you latch on to any of those?
I'm a very pragmatic person, and I choose to listen only to provable facts. So there are some kind of facts in terms of data, like from the pings from the locating device, but those could have been fabricated. You know, so the reset of the plane's computers could have actually been the resetting of spoofed data going into the plane. So I don't consider that hard fact. So really the only hard facts we have are the pieces of debris that have been washing up, you know, on and off for the last 8 or 9 years. And many scientists from different countries around the world have all said that none of those pieces of debris are consistent with debris that has been in the water as long as it should have been in the water. You know, something that's washed up on shore after 3 years should have the evidence of 3 years on the water. And instead, it looks like it's been in the water for 2 months. So to me, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's a hard fact, and we need to figure out what the explanation underlying it is.
Just final question, and it's kind of a double-barrel question. Do you think the day will come where you have clarity, when you have answers, you have closure? And also, just finally, how do you want the world to remember your former partner on this day?
So I am confident that we will eventually find the truth because technology will advance, whistleblowers will come forward. You know, it took 20 years for the truth to come out around Lockerbie, Scotland. So, you know, it's been 10 years. Could it be 10 more? Maybe. But I want people to remember Phillip for what he represented. He was a very loving and kind man who worked very hard to make the world around him a better place. And he died due to a failure in systems that still exist. So the systems that allowed that plane to go missing and to stay missing are still in control of the way we travel every day. So, you know, when we think about the disappearance of MH370, sure, we should mourn the people that we lost. I still mourn Phillip on a regular basis. I mean, I still regularly think about him. But I also think twice every time I get in an airplane because we still don't know what happened. And that should bother all people who travel.
Sarah, appreciate your time this evening. That is Sarah Bajc, whose partner, Phillip Wood, was on MH370 when it went missing.